Close your eyes. There is nothing you need to do now, nothing to solve, nothing to carry. The day is behind you now, and it can stay there. Just rest here and let your body grow heavy. And still, let your breathing slow. There is no hurry anymore. Each breath a little softer than the last. And as you settle, let your mind begin to drift gently upward, away from the room, away from the ground. With every breath, let a little more of the day melt away. The conversations, the small worries, the things you meant to do, they will keep until tomorrow. For now, there is only this, the slow rhythm of your breathing and the soft dark behind your eyes. There is no test at the end of this journey. No need to stay awake for the good parts. If you drift off somewhere over the moon or among the far stars, that is exactly as it should be. The journey will carry on without you softly, like a train rolling gently through the night while you sleep in your seat. Feel your shoulders soften and your hands grow loose. The bed is holding you. The night is holding you. There is nothing you need to watch over, nothing waiting for you. Nothing left undone that cannot. Wait for morning. We are going to take a journey tonight. A slow journey out into the quiet of space. You do not need to follow closely. You do not need to remember anything. Just let the words carry you like a current further and further from the shore. Let the world grow small beneath you. The streets, the rooftops, the lights, all of it softening, all of it falling quietly away. There is nowhere you need to be. There is nothing left to do but drift. And so we begin rising slowly into the dark. And the stars, it is strange to think how close space really is. It is not a distant country. From where you are resting now, it is only about 100 kilometers above your head. If you could drive your car straight upward, you would be there within the hour. The stars have always been that close, just beyond the thin blue ceiling of the sky, far below you. Now, the Earth is turning. It has been turning for a very long time, 4.5 billion years patient. And never hurried, carrying its oceans and its forests and all its sleeping creatures through the dark. It turns at a tremendous speed. And yet, you have never felt it all your life. The ground beneath you has been moving, spinning gently through space, and it has carried you so smoothly that you never noticed at all from up here. The noise of the world fades into silence. The cities become soft points of light, scattered across the night side of the planet. The clouds drift slowly, like breath across the surface. Whole storms turn in silence. Far below, and near the top of the world, soft curtains of green light ripple across the sky. The auroras, they shimmer and fold like slow silk in the dark, where the wind from the distant sun touches the edge of our air from up here. You can watch them dance, silent and beautiful over the sleeping ice below you. The line between day and night drifts slowly across the world. On one side, morning is breaking over the ocean golden light, sweeping across the water on the other. Evening is falling, and the lights of the cities are coming on, one by one, like embers somewhere down there. It is always sunrise, and somewhere it is always night here and there, far below. Silent storms flicker in the clouds, small pulses of light, blooming and fading like fireflies caught in the weather. From up here, even the thunder is quiet, and if you watch closely, some of the stars are moving small. Steady points of light gliding quietly across the dark. They are not stars at all, but small machines we have placed in the sky, circling the world, over and over, while everyone below them sleeps. The travelers who live up here for a while see something wonderful. Their home circles the whole world in only 90 minutes. And so, for them, the sun rises and sets 16 times a day, 16 dawns, 16 sunsets in a single day, and night. Morning after morning, blooming over the curve of the earth, almost too many sunrises to watch it, is a quiet thing to see the whole world at once. Everything you have ever known is down there, every ocean ever crossed, every mountain ever climbed, every person who has ever lived. All of them on this one small blue world, hanging in the dark. Most of it is water from out here. That is what you see, a world of deep blue oceans, wrapped in white cloud, with the land resting quietly in between a water world, shining softly in the light of its star. And the higher you rise, the smaller it becomes. The earth begins to curve away beneath you, a pale blue shape wrapped in a thin veil of air. That veil is all that separates the warmth of the world from the cold of everything beyond it. It is thinner than it looks, a fragile blue line hold in the sky. And the air you were breathing only moments ago is part of that same thin line. The breath in your chest right now came from that soft blue veil wrapped around the sleeping world. There is no sound in this place, no wind, no voices, only stillness, stretching out in every direction, further than the mind can follow, and still we rise. The earth grows smaller, now a blue island in a vast and gentle darkness, and ahead of us, waiting in the black, a familiar grey light begins to grow. Ahead of you waits the moon, grey and silver, worn smooth in places, and scarred in others. It has circled the earth for billions of years longer than there have been eyes to watch it. It is further away than it seems. Nearly 400,000 kilometers of empty space lie between the earth and the moon. You could fit every other planet in our solar system into that gap and still have room to spare. It is a vast and lonely distance, and yet, in all the sky, the moon is our nearest neighbor. The moon always shows us the same face. It turns in perfect step with its slow journey around the earth. So one side is forever turned toward us, and one side is forever turned away for all of human history. No eye ever saw the far side of the moon, not once, until at last our machines flew around it and sent back pictures of a hidden land that no one had ever seen. Its surface is a still and silent place. There is no air here, no weather, no sound. The footprints left by astronauts more than 50 years ago are still there, perfectly preserved in the grey dust, with no wind to erase them. They may remain for millions of years. The dark plains of the moon carry gentle, old names: the Sea of Tranquility, the Ocean of Storms, the Sea of Serenity. There is no water in them, only ancient grey stone, but the old names drift over them, soft as a lullaby. The travellers who walked here brought pieces of the moon home, with them boxes of grey stone and dust, and inside those quiet rocks we read the moon's story, a story for and 500 million years old, preserved in the cold, like a time capsule waiting for someone to open it. The moon was born from violence long ago. Scientists believe that when the earth was very young, another world, about the size of Mars, struck it. The collision threw a great cloud of molten rock into space, slowly. Over time, that cloud gathered together and cooled and became the moon. In those early days, it hung enormous in the sky, far closer than it is now, and the young earth spun so fast beneath it that a whole day lasted. Only a few hours slowly, gently. Over billions of years, the moon has been drifting away, and the days have been growing longer, like a clock. Softly winding down, it is still drifting away from us now, a little further every year, slower than your fingernails grow. But always moving, and far in the future, it will hang smaller in the sky than it does tonight. But for now, it holds the oceans in its quiet pull. As it circles the earth, its gravity tugs gently at the seas, drawing the water into a slow and endless rhythm. The rise and fall of every tide on every shore is the moon, reaching across the dark and touching the water below. The moon makes no light of its own. All its silver glow is borrowed sunlight falling on grey stone, and gently reflected down to us. When you stand in moonlight, you are standing in sunlight, taking the long way round, and once in a while, the earth itself drifts between the sun and the moon and casts its shadow across that distant surface. The moon does not go dark. Instead, it turns a deep, soft copper, red, lit by the glow of every sunrise and every sunset on earth, all at once falling on the moon together. The whole world's twilight gathered on another world. We leave it behind, now, drifting on toward a growing warmth. Ahead of us, now, the source of all the light, the sun. It is hard to understand how vast it is. It holds almost all the mass of the entire solar system, every planet, every moon, every asteroid. All of it together is barely a whisper beside the sun. More than 1 million Earths could fit inside it. It is so wide that if it were hollow, our whole world would be lost within it, a single grain in an ocean of fire. And yet, among the stars, the sun is really quite ordinary, a medium star, one of billions. Like it is made of the simplest thing. There is hydrogen, the lightest and most ancient of all the elements. Most of the sun is just that, a vast ocean of glowing hydrogen, slowly turning itself into light at its heart, deep in the core. The temperature reaches 15 million degrees there. Under unimaginable pressure, the sun does something extraordinary. It turns one element into another. Hydrogen slowly becomes helium. And in that change, it releases light, the same light that, 8 minutes from now, will fall softly on the earth and warm the morning. It burns with a power beyond all imagining, in less time than a single heartbeat. The sun releases more energy than all of humanity has ever used, and it has been doing this quietly, steadily, for 4.5 billion years. The surface is cooler, though still far hotter than anything on Earth. It churns and boils endlessly. Great loops of glowing gas rise and fall, larger than entire planets, and from time to time, the sun releases a vast burst of energy into space, a flare, reaching out across the dark sometimes. Dark patches drift across its face regions, slightly cooler than the fire around them. They look like small islands of shadow on an ocean of light. They come, and they wander, and they fade. The slow weather of a star. Everything warm in your life has come from this star. Every meal you have ever eaten was sunlight, stored by a leaf. Every fire-old sunlight, sleeping in wood. Even the wind is only the sun, gently stirring the air. You have been living on starlight all along, even now. As you rest, the sun is at work on the far side of the world, lifting water from the oceans, breathing warmth into the morning, air-opening flowers. In countries where it is already day, it never pauses, so that everything else can, and once in a long while, from the earth, the moon slides perfectly in front of the sun, and for a few quiet minutes, day becomes a strange and gentle night. The birds fall silent. The stars come out at noon, and around the black circle of the moon, the sun's pale crown of fire appears visible only in those rare, hushed moments. People travel across the world just to stand in that shadow for a little while. And here is one of its strangest secrets. Above the surface, the sun wears a crown of pale fire, a halo of thin, glowing air that is hundreds of times hotter than the surface below it, as if the air around a candle burned hotter than the flame. Why this is so, no one fully knows. Even our own star still keeps its mysteries from the sun. An endless soft wind blows outward, a stream of tiny particles flowing past all the planets, brushing against the Earth and painting those green auroras over the poles. While you sleep, it has been shining this way for 4.5 billion years, and it will shine for billions more. All the warmth the Earth has ever known, every summer, every sunrise, every living thing has come from this one quiet, steady fire, burning in the dark. We turn away from its light now, drift onward, outward, into the cold, and toward the smaller worlds beyond. The first world we pass is Mercury, a small, grey, rocky place closest of all to the sun. It has almost no air to hold the heat, and so it lives in extremes. The side facing the sun is hot enough to melt metal. The side turned away falls into a bitter, freezing cold, a world of fire and ice. Circling quietly, close to the flame beyond it, Venus from a distance. It is beautiful, wrapped in soft, pale clouds that catch the sunlight. But those clouds hide something. Harsh beneath them lies a crushing, poisonous air and a heat greater even than Mercury's. The thick clouds trap the warmth and never let it go. It is the hottest world in all the solar system, a gentle face over a furnace. And yet, from the Earth, Venus is lovely. It shines brighter than any star in our sky, the first light to appear in the evening, and the last to fade at dawn. For thousands of years, people have watched it the evening star, never knowing what fierce heat lay beneath that gentle shine. And Venus turns more slowly than any world we know. It spins so gently that a single day there lasts longer than its entire year. A world where the evening takes months to arrive. And then we come to a small blue world, the one we left behind Earth. From out here, it is just a pale dot of light, the only place we know of in all the vastness where there is water and air and life, a quiet miracle, easy to miss in the dark past Earth, the red world Mars. A cold desert, wrapped in a thin and dusty sky. Its deserts are rust red, scattered with ancient volcanoes, and dry, winding valleys, long ago. Rivers may have flowed here, carving the channels we can still see today, like the memory of water. Written in the sand, it is silent and still now. But of all the worlds beyond our own, Mars feels the most familiar, a place of mountains and plains and pale pink skies. A place we may one day walk. 2 small moons circle it, tiny, lumpy things, like drifting stones, hurrying across the Martian sky. From the red deserts below, they would look like 2 faint lanterns rising and setting in the dusty pink twilight. And when evening comes to Mars, something lovely happens. The sun sets. There are blue, the fine red dust in the air scatters the light the opposite way to ours. And so, as the small pale sun sinks over the cold desert, the sky around it glows a soft, quiet, blue sunsets over a red world. These are the rocky worlds, the small, solid planets. Huddled near the warmth of the sun beyond them lies a great emptiness, and past that emptiness, the giant's weight. We drift on into the dark between the worlds as we travel outward. We pass through a wide and scattered ring, the asteroid belt here, between the rocky worlds and the giants beyond. Drift countless pieces of stone and metal, the leftovers from the birth of the solar system, fragments that never became a planet. It is easy to imagine this place as crowded, a dense field of tumbling rock, like in the stories, but the truth is far emptier and far more peaceful. The asteroids are spread across such an enormous space that they are mostly alone. You could pass through the entire belt and never see a single one. Our spacecraft have crossed this region many times on their way to the outer worlds, and not one of them has ever struck a stone. The belt is not a wall. It is a whisper of rocks scattered across ocean of empty space. Some of these rocks are tiny mere pebbles, drifting in the dark. Others are vast. The largest, called Ceres, is round, like a small world of its own, hundreds of kilometers across it, is so large that it is counted as a dwarf planet. These quiet stones have been drifting here since the very beginning, 4.5 billion years, turning slowly in the cold and the silence. They are pieces of a world that never was a planet, that gravity pulled apart before it could ever form. We pass between them and leave them tumbling gently behind us, and as we drift onward, something else moves through the dark. A wanderer, a comet, most of the time. A comet is nothing more than a small, frozen lump of ice and dust drifting silently in the cold, far from the sun, only a few kilometers across dark and quiet, and still astronomers have a gentle name for them: dirty snowballs. For that is mostly what they are: ice and frozen gas and dust, left over from the very birth of the solar system. They are some of the oldest, most untouched things. They are frozen since the beginning. But every so often, a comet falls inward, drawn toward the warmth of the sun. And as it draws closer, something beautiful happens. The ice begins to warm and turn to gas. The comet wakes. It grows a vast, glowing cloud around itself, and a long, shining tail of gas and dust streaming out behind it. Catching the light of the sun, that tail can stretch for millions of kilometers across the sky, far longer than the distance from the Earth to the moon, and it always points away from the sun, swept back gently by the soft and endless wind that streams out from the star itself. Some comets return again and again on long and patient journeys. The most famous of them all sweeps past the Earth just once in a human lifetime, every 76 years. Those who see it as children may live to see it once more. As the old and the comets leave something behind them, as they go, a trail of dust scattered along their path. And when the Earth drifts through one of those old trails, the dust falls into our sky and burns up in tiny streaks of light, shooting stars. Every falling star you have ever wished upon was a little piece of a comet ending its long journey. In a moment of brightness above your head, long ago, people feared the comets, a new light in the sky. With a glowing tail, they thought it carried omens, messages of change. They painted them on silk and carved them in stone. Now we know them for what they are: not warnings, just travelers, old, cold, and harmless, passing through on their long, quiet way. And somewhere out there, right now, thousands of them are mid-journey, falling slowly toward the sun, or climbing slowly away from it, each one alone, on a path that takes lifetimes. The solar system is full of these quiet travelers keeping their long appointments. In the dark, the comet swings around the sun and falls away again, back out into the cold. And the dark, its tail, fading behind it back to sleep. For another lifetime, we watch it go, a quiet traveler, and we drift onward toward the giants. Ahead of us now, a giant Jupiter, the largest planet of them. All it is, so vast, that every other planet in the solar system could fit inside it, with room to spare more than 1,000 Earths, could be swallowed by this single world. Jupiter is not solid, like the worlds we have left behind. It is a great turning ball of gas, wrapped in endless bands of cloud, soft stripes of cream and gold and brown, turning slowly around the planet, and among them a storm, a vast red storm, larger than the entire Earth, that has been turning for hundreds of years. It is calm to look at from out here, but within, the winds are fierce. Beyond imagining, you have seen Jupiter. Even if you never knew it, it shines in our night sky as a bright, steady, golden point one of the wandering lights the ancient world watched, and named people have been falling asleep under its light. For as long as there have been people, and Jupiter is a kind of guardian, its immense gravity sweeps the solar system, catching wandering rocks and ice and flinging them gently away out to the far edges, or out of the family altogether, a great, quiet shepherd, keeping the small worlds near the sun a little safer. Age after age, 4 of Jupiter's moons are large enough to see with the simplest telescope, and they were the first worlds ever discovered circling something other than the Earth when an astronomer first saw them 400 years ago. Small lights moving night by night around the giant, it quietly changed everything. The sky was not a painting, it was a place full of worlds in motion, and Jupiter does not travel alone. Around it drifts a whole family of moons, nearly 100 of them, circling the giant like a small solar system of its own worlds of ice and rock and fire, each one different, each one keeping its own quiet secrets. One of them, in particular, holds a secret worth pausing for. Its name is Europa. From a distance, Europa is a smooth, pale world, wrapped in ice and crossed by countless long, dark cracks. Light lines drawn across its surface. It is one of the smoothest worlds in all the solar system, a frozen, silent ball, far from the warmth of the sun. But beneath that shell of ice, there is an ocean, a vast, deep, liquid ocean, hidden under the frozen surface, and it holds more water than all the oceans of the Earth, combined twice as much a high. Deadened sea, sealed beneath miles of ice, on a small moon, far out in the cold. How can there be liquid water so far from the sun? The answer is in Jupiter itself, as Europa circles the giant planet. Jupiter's enormous gravity squeezes and stretches the little moon gently, endlessly, and that flexing warms it from within enough to keep the hidden ocean from freezing a world, kept warm not by sunlight, but by the pull of a giant. And where there is water and warmth, there may, perhaps, be more. Europa is one of the most promising places in all the solar system to look for life beyond the Earth. We have even sent a great spacecraft aft on its way there, the largest we have ever built for such a journey, to fly past the ice again and again, and listen for what lies beneath we do not know what. If anything drifts in that dark and hidden sea, perhaps nothing at all, perhaps something we have only just begun to look. It is a strange and wonderful thought. that beneath the ice of a distant moon, an entire ocean rolls in darkness, silent and unseen as it has, perhaps, for billions of years. The ice itself tells the story. Europa's surface is smooth and young, endlessly renewed from below, as if the moon, very slowly, breathes beyond Jupiter. A world wrapped in rings, Saturn perhaps, the most beautiful of all the planets. Its rings stretch far out into space, wide and bright and delicate, and yet they are made of nothing but ice and rock, countless pieces, from grains of dust to great tumbling boulders, all circling the planet in a thin and shining band. When the first astronomers turned their small telescopes towards Saturn, long ago, they could not understand what they were seeing. The rings were too strange. Some thought the planet had handles, or two companions at its sides. It took years before anyone dared to believe the truth, that a world could wear a ring of light, and for all its vastness. Saturn is impossibly light. It is mostly gas, so light, in fact, that if you could find an ocean deep enough and wide enough, Saturn would float, the great ringed giant bobbing gently. Like a golden boat, Saturn has its own great family, 2 dozens upon dozens of moons, large and small, circling among and beyond the ring's shepherd moons, that keep the rings combed, and tidy ice moons, bright as snow, and strange small worlds we have barely met. For all their vastness, the rings are almost impossibly thin. If Saturn were shrunk to the size of a house, its rings would be thiace, inner than a sheet of paper, a great disk of drifting ice, flat and silent and shining, turning gently around its golden world, and around Saturn, too, a family of moons. The largest of them is a world called Titan, and of all the moons in the solar system, it is perhaps the most like home, and the most strange. Titan is larger than the planet Mercury, and unlike almost every other moon, it has a thick atmosphere, a dense golden haze that wraps the whole world and hides its surface from view for a long time. We could not see through it at all. Titan was a mystery, a soft orange ball, drifting in the dark. But when at last we sent a spacecraft to look beneath the haze, we found something astonishing. Titan has rivers and lakes and great seas. Hundreds of kilometers across it is the only other place in the entire solar system, besides the Earth, where liquid pools on the surface, where it rains and flows and gathers into seas. But these are not seas of water. Titan is far too cold for that. So cold that water there is frozen hard as rock. The rivers and lakes of Titan are filled with something else, liquid methane, a gas on Earth. But on frozen Titan, it falls as rain and runs in rivers and fills the seas, and the air of Titan is thick with nitrogen, the very same gas that fills most of every breath you take. A cold, orange cousin of our own sky, wrapped around a distant moon. Picture it for a moment. A soft, quiet rain, falling slowly through the thick air, winding down to wide, still seas. Beneath the distant, ringed shape of Saturn, hanging in the haze, it is a world utterly unlike our own, and yet, somehow, deeply familiar, a place of rain and rivers and shores. One day soon, a small flying machine will travel there, to drift through that thick orange air and land on those strange plains and tell us what it finds. But tonight, Titan reigns in peace as it has for billions of years. There is a slow, quiet beauty to these worlds, we drift on now, leaving the giants and their moons behind, and turn toward the farthest planets of all. Far beyond Saturn, in the deep cold, drifts a pale and quiet world Uranus. It is so distant that it cannot be seen from Earth with the eye alone. It was the first planet ever discovered with a telescope, a world unknown to all the ancient watchers of the sky. Uranus is an ice giant, a great, cold ball of gas and ice, far smaller than Jupiter, but still large enough to swallow many Earths. It glows a soft, pale blue, green, a gentle color, given to it by the methane gas high in its clouds, which drinks in the red light and reflects only the blue. But Uranus holds a strange secret. Every other planet spins more or less upright, like a top. As it circles the sun, Uranus does not. Uranus is tipped completely over, lying on its side, rolling around the sun like a ball. Long ago, perhaps, some great collision knocked it over, and it has rolled on its side ever since. Because of this strange tilt, the seasons on Uranus are unlike any other as it rolls around the sun. Each pole points, in turn, almost directly at the distant light, and so each pole has a summer that lasts more than 40 years, bathed in faint sunlight, without a sunset, and then a winter just as long, more than 40 years of unbroken darkness, like Neptune beyond it. Uranus owes its color to a breath of methane in its high, cold air, a gas that swallows the red light of the distant sun and lets only the blue-green glow escape the two far giants. Dressed in the same soft shade, it is a still and silent and gentle world, pale and cold and far away. We have visited it only once, a single spacecraft, passing briefly, long ago, and then it was alone again, rolling quietly on its side through the dark, and now we reach the last of the planets, the most distant of them all, Neptune, a deep, rich blue world. Far out, at the very edge of the Sun's family, it is more than 30 times farther from the Sun than the Earth, so far away that, from Neptune, the Sun would be only a bright star in the sky. Out here, the warmth of the Sun has all but vanished. The light that reaches Neptune is hundreds of times fainter than the light we know high noon on Neptune would seem to us like a deep and gentle twilight. It is a world of dim light and bitter cold and endless dark, and yet Neptune is not still. Far from it, for reasons we still do not fully understand. This distant, frozen world has the fiercest winds of any planet in the solar system, winds that howl across it faster than the speed of sound, faster than any storm that has ever blown on Earth. Vast, dark storms drift across its face, some large enough to swallow our entire world. It is a strange thing to picture such fury, so far from the sun, in such cold and quiet dark, a deep blue world, beautiful and serene from a distance, and yet wrapped in the wildest winds we have ever found. Neptune was the first planet found not by looking, but by mathematics. Astronomers noticed something tugging, unseen, on the orbit of Uranus. They calculated where the hidden world must be, and when they looked, there it was, a planet found first in the mind, and only then in the sky. Its year is so long that, since the night it was discovered, it has circled the sun only once. Only one of our machines has ever visited it. It swept past in a single, brief encounter, took its photographs of that deep blue face, and sailed on into the dark. Everything we know of Neptune up close. We learned in those few passing hours around Neptune circles, a strange companion, a great moon that travels the wrong way, its lulls backwards against the spin of its planet, a sign that it was not born there, but captured a wanderer from the icy belt beyond, caught long ago and kept, and on its frozen surface, fountains of ice rise quietly into the thin, dark geysers. On a moon, at the edge of everything, we have reached the edge of the Sun's family, now beyond Neptune. The planet's end, but the solar system does not beyond the last of the great planets, lies a vast and frozen frontier. A wide ring of icy worlds, circling, far out in the cold, and the dark astronomers call it the Kuiper Belt. It is a little like the Asteroid Belt we passed long ago, but far larger, far colder, and made not of rock, but of ice. There are millions of frozen worlds out here. Most are small, some are strange. One is even shaped like a great egg, spinning end over end through the dark. But the most famous of them all is Pluto for a long time. We called Pluto the ninth planet, the smallest, and the most distant, but as our telescopes grew stronger, we found that Pluto was not alone. It was simply the brightest of a whole crowd of icy worlds, drifting together in the dark, and so we gave it a new name, a dwarf planet, king of the Kuiper Belt. And even out here, in the cold and the dark, Pluto is not alone. It has moons of its own small companions, circling it faithfully. A little family, huddled together at the edge of the light Pluto, is a small, cold, and beautiful world when at last a spacecraft flew past it. After a journey of nearly 10 years, we saw it clearly for the very first time, and we found upon its surface a great, pale plain, shaped almost perfectly, like a frozen heart of ice on a small world, billions of kilometers from home. And the pictures showed one more surprise, even out there. Pluto's sky is not empty black high above its ice. There hangs a thin, soft haze, and the haze is blue. A faint blue sky over the farthest of the old 9 worlds, a small echo of home at the very edge of the dark. Out here, the sun is just a brilliant point of light, no longer a great warm disk, only the brightest of the stars. The light is dim, and the cold is absolute. And still, these frozen worlds drift on in their slow and silent orbits as they have, untouched. Since the very dawn of the solar system, this frozen ring is also a nursery of comets, the shorter travelers, the ones that visit us every few decades or centuries. Most of them begin their journeys here, nudged loose from the cold, and sent falling toward the sun. We drift on, far past Pluto, now far past the Kuiper Belt, out into a place so distant, so empty, that it is almost beyond imagining. And here, at last, we reach the true edge of the sun's domain, a place called the Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is not a ring, like the belts we have passed. It is a vast, hollow shell, a great bubble of icy worlds, surrounding the entire solar system on every side. Billions upon billions of frozen comets, drifting in the dark, so far apart that each one is utterly alone. And it is unimaginably far away, so far that the distances we have used until now lose all their meaning to reach the outer edge of the Oort cloud. Light itself, the fastest thing there is, would travel for more than a year. The sun, from out here, is no longer a disk at all. It is simply one star. Among all the others, a single point of light that happens to be home. This is where the long comets are born. Every so often, far out in the cloud, one of these frozen worlds is nudged gently from its place and begins the long, long fall toward the distant sun, a journey that may take millions of years, and one day it will arrive and blaze briefly across our skies before falling away into the dark once more. The Oort cloud is the shore at the edge of our island. Beyond it, there is no longer any sun to speak of, only the deep space between the stars. We pause here a moment, at the very edge of home, and gently we let go, and we drift out into the dark between the suns. We have crossed beyond the sun, now into the space between the stars. It is the emptiest place we have ever been out here. There is almost nothing at all, a handful of atoms in each great stretch of space, a silence deeper than any silence on Earth. The distances here are beyond imagining. The nearest star to our sun is so far away that its light takes more than 4 years to reach us, traveling at the speed of light. 4 long years. Through the dark, and that is the closest one. The next is further still, and the next. And we cannot travel at the speed of light. Even the fastest machines we have ever built would need tens of thousands of years to cross to that nearest star. Whole civilizations would rise and fall on Earth while the little ship was still on its way. The stars are not destinations. For us, not yet. They are horizons. And the starlight itself is old. The light arriving in your eyes on any clear night has been traveling for years, for centuries, sometimes far longer. Some of the stars you see tonight, their light left home before you were born. The night sky is not a picture of now. It is a sky full of history, still arriving. So when you look up, you are not seeing one moment. You are seeing thousands of moments at once, layered together, old light and older light, all of it finishing its long journey tonight. In your eyes, every glance at the stars is a glance across time. Between the stars, there is only the cold and the quiet and the slow, faint drift of dust. If you were here, you would feel utterly alone. The sun would be just one more point of light behind you, already lost among thousands of others. And yet, we are here, in a way. 2 small machines, built by human hands, have crossed this boundary, the farthest travelers we have ever sent. They are sailing through this silence, right now, still peering home across the dark, and each one carries a golden record with the sound of rain on Earth, a heartbeat music. And greetings in many languages, a message in a bottle drifting on the deepest ocean there is in case. Someday someone finds it, and yet every one of those points of light is a sun. And for a long, long time, we wondered, do those other suns have worlds of their own, planets circling them as ours circle? Our own we could not know. The stars were too far, the planets too small and too faint to see. And then, only a few decades ago, we found the first one, a planet, circling another star far away in the dark. We call these distant worlds exoplanets. And once we knew how to look, we began to find them everywhere today. We have found thousands of them, more than 6,000 worlds, circling other suns. And that is only the beginning, the smallest fraction of what is truly out there. Astronomers now believe that nearly every star you can see has planets of its own, which means that in our galaxy alone, there are not millions, but billions of worlds, more planets than there are stars in the sky. And what strange and wonderful worlds they are. Some are giants, larger than Jupiter, circling so close to their star that their years last only days. Some are worlds of molten rock, where it may rain glass or iron. Some drift alone in the dark, with no star at all, and some a precious few circle, their suns at just the right distance. Not too hot and not too cold worlds, where perhaps water could pool upon the surface worlds. Perhaps, a little like our own, some of these worlds circle two suns at once. Imagine standing there in the evening, watching not one sunset, but two, a pair of suns, sinking together into a strange horizon. We do not yet know if any of them hold life. We have not yet seen their surfaces, or walked their shores, but they are there, countless worlds, beneath countless suns, scattered across the dark, each one a place, each one real, each one waiting, quietly. In the night, it is a thought to rest upon, gently, that the sky is not empty, that around almost every star there are worlds turning slowly in the dark, just as ours turns and the stars themselves. As we drift on among them, we begin to see that they are not all the same. Our sun, which fills our sky and gives us all our warmth, is really quite an ordinary star, a middle-sized, steady, golden star, but it is only one kind. Among many, some stars are far smaller than our sun, cool and dim and red, burning so slowly, so gently, that they will go on shining for trillions of years longer than the universe has yet existed. These small red stars are the most common of all. Most of the stars in our galaxy are like this, the quiet, patient, long-lived stars that will still be burning, soft and red, long after our own sun has faded. And some stars are giants vast, and brilliant, and blue, white, hundreds of times larger than our sun, and many thousands of times brighter. They blaze with a fierce and dazzling light, but they burn through their fuel so quickly, so wildly, that they live only a few brief million years, a mere flicker in the long life of the stars before they die. In great explosions, there are old stars, and young stars, stars being born deep in their clouds, and stars fading slowly into the dark. There are stars in pairs, circling one another, locked together for billions of years, and stars gathered in great clusters, thousands of them, shining together in glittering balls of light, like cities of suns, hanging in the night. Some of those gatherings are ancient, beyond telling, older than the spiral arms of the galaxy itself, great globes of 1,000,000 stars that have held together, shining quietly since the universe was young. And between all of them, the dark is not wasted space, it is the room. The stars need to shine. In the night is not empty, it is spacious. The way a cathedral is spacious, built large and quiet, and dim, so that the small lights mean more drift, a little deeper. Now let the stars slide past you, one by one. No need to count them, no need to name them, just lights on a long, slow road carrying you onward through the dark. Every star you have ever seen in the night sky is one of these, a sun with its own color, its own size, its own life and death, some older than our own, some far younger, many with worlds of their own, turning quietly in their light, all of them, drifting slowly through the same great dark. We drift on now through the great society of the stars toward the place where all of them begin. Ahead of us now, in the dark, a great glowing cloud, a nebula. They are among the most beautiful things in all the universe, vast clouds of gas and dust drifting between the stars, soft towers and curtains of glowing color, stretching across distances so large that light itself takes years to cross them. These clouds are where stars are born within them. Gravity works slowly, so slowly, drawing the gas together over millions of years. The cloud begins to gather, and to thicken, and to grow warm at its heart. And then, when it grows hot enough, a new star begins to shine. A nebula is a nursery, a quiet place where new suns are made. Some of these clouds glow with their own soft light, lit from within by the young stars they have made. Others are dark and cold, great shadows against the stars behind them. And some hold thousands of newborn stars at once, each one a sun, each one perhaps with worlds of its own, slowly forming in the dark. There is no hurry. Here, stars are born over millions of years. The light you would see, drifting through a nebula, has been travelling for longer than there have been people to look up at it. To pass through one of these clouds is to drift through the slow and patient making of the stars themselves. In one of these clouds, great pillars of dust rise like towers, so tall that light itself takes years to climb them. And inside those towers, hidden from view, new suns are quietly switching on one by one, like lamps in the windows of an immense dark house. Our own sun was born this way long ago, in a cloud like this one. It may even have had brothers and sisters, stars born beside it, from the same gas that have long since drifted away across the galaxy, somewhere out there tonight. The sun's lost siblings are still shining, and just as stars are born, so too, one day, do they die. Every star that shines will one day fade, and in their ending, they create something just as beautiful as their birth. Every star has a life, and every life comes at last to an end. A star shines for as long as it can burn its fuel deep within for our sun. That life is long billions upon billions of years, but nothing burns forever. When a star like our sun grows old, it begins to swell. It grows vast and red, swallowing the small worlds around it, and then, gently, it lets go. It casts its outer layers softly into space, great glowing shells of gas, drifting outward in rings and clouds of color. For a time, these shells glow with quiet light, the slow, beautiful fading of a star. What is left behind is small, and dim the bare core of the star, no larger than the earth, but so dense that a single spoonful would weigh more than a mountain. It will cool slowly, over an almost endless time, fading at last into the dark one day. In the deep future, our own sun will fade this way. It will swell and soften and gently let its outer layers go and settle down as a small white ember, cooling in the dark. But that day is impossibly far away. The sun is only halfway through its long, steady life. There are billions of years of mornings still to come, and the shells of the old explosions are still out there, still spreading. Some have been drifting outward for 1,000 years, and we can watch them grow gently, year by year, like ripples on a pond that never quite settle. The sky remembers its old fireworks in slow motion. The largest stars end differently. They do not fade gently. When a giant star dies, it collapses in an instant and explodes, a supernova. For a few brief days, a single dying star can shine brighter than an entire galaxy, and in that explosion, something wonderful happens. The star scatters its insides across space, the iron, the gold, the very stuff that worlds and oceans and living things are made of. A few times in all of history, people have seen one with their own eyes, a new star, blazing suddenly in the night sky, bright enough, sometimes, to be seen in daylight, burning for weeks, and then slowly fading. They wrote it down in wonder, in chronicles, and on temple walls, never knowing they were watching the death of a giant thousands of years after it actually happened. Everything you are, every atom in your body, was once made inside a star, an S, scattered long ago by a star that died. We are, quite literally, made of stardust, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, all of it forged in the heart of a star, and carried here across the dark. And when a great star dies and explodes, it does not always vanish completely. Sometimes it leaves behind a small, strange remnant, a ghost of the star that was, and one of the strangest of all is the neutron star. Imagine the heart of a giant star, a core far larger than our sun. Now imagine that core collapsing in an instant, crushed down by its own gravity, smaller and smaller, until all of that vast weight is squeezed into a ball, just a few miles across a whole star's heart, compressed into something the size of a city. The result is almost impossible to imagine. A neutron star is so dense, so tightly packed, that a single spoonful of it would weigh as much as a mountain range, billions of tons, in the palm of your hand. Your hand. It is matter crushed beyond anything we will ever make, or ever truly understand, among the densest things in all the universe. Second only to black holes themselves, and many of these small, crushed stars spin faster than you could ever picture. Some turn round and round, hundreds of times every second, a whole dead star the size of a city, spinning faster than the blades of an engine. And as they spin, some send out great beams of light, sweeping around like the beam of a lighthouse across the dark. From far away, we see those beams flash past us on and off, on and off, with a rhythm so steady, so precise, that when we first found one, we wondered, for a moment, if someone was sending a signal, but it was only a dead star spinning in the dark, a lighthouse with no keeper, shining out across the empty sea of space. Those flashing beams are so steady, so perfectly regular, that they keep better time than almost anything we have ever built. One day, far in the future, travelers between the stars may steer their ships by them, using the dead stars as lighthouses, to find their way home across the dark. And these strange remnants hold one more gift, when two of them, circling one another for ages, finally spiral together and collide. The collision forges the heaviest and most precious things. There are gold and platinum scattered into space in a single brilliant moment. The gold in a ring on a sleeping hand. Somewhere below us tonight was made in the meeting of two dead stars, long before the earth was born. We drift on now toward the deepest darkness of all. Ahead of us now, in the deep dark, something we cannot truly see, a black hole. It is one of the strangest things in all the universe. When the largest stars die, they collapse inward, pulled down by their own gravity, smaller and smaller, until they vanish into a single point. And around that point, gravity grows so strong that not even light can escape. That is why we cannot see them. A black hole gives off no light at all. We see only the edge, the boundary beyond which everything is lost. It is called the event horizon. Anything that crosses it, light, dust, whole stars, can never return. It is, in a sense, the edge of the universe itself, a point of no return. And yet, around that darkness, there is often light. As gas and dust fall inward, they swirl into a great glowing disk, spinning faster and faster, growing hotter and hotter, until they shine. A ring of brilliant light, circling a perfect darkness. And yet, for all their strangeness, black holes are not hunters. They do not roam, or reach out, or pull the universe in. If our sun, by some magic, became a black hole of the very same weight, The Earth and all the planets would simply keep circling. Exactly as before, only the light would be gone. A black hole is not a whirlpool chasing ships. It is just a place where gravity runs deeper than light can climb, and sometimes two black holes find one another and circle and finally merge. And when they do, space itself trembles, ripples, spread outward through the universe. Not light, not sound, but a shiver in space itself. And after 100 years of wondering, we have built instruments delicate enough to feel them when those ripples pass through the Earth. Our machines hear the universe gently ringing like a great, soft bell. At the very center of our own galaxy lies a giant, a supermassive black hole, 4 million times heavier than our Sun. It is 26,000 light years away, and every star in our galaxy, including our own Sun, slowly circles around it. It has been there, quietly, for almost the entire life of the galaxy for years. Astronomers watched the stars closest to the center and saw them swing fast and tight around something enormous that could not be seen. From those silent orbits, they weighed the invisible giant, and the discovery was honored as one of the great achievements of our time for many years. We could only watch the stars near the center swinging around something vast and dark and unseen. And then, at last, astronomers joined telescopes all across the Earth together until our whole planet became one great eye, and with it, they took a picture of the shadow of the giant itself, a ring of golden light around a perfect circle of darkness, the first portrait, of the heart of our galaxy. Near a black hole, the strangest thing of all happens. Time itself begins to slow the closer you draw to that edge. The slower time flows if you could watch something fall toward a black hole. You would see it slow and seem to hang forever at the edge, never quite falling in. Here, at the edge of darkness, even time grows still. We turn gently away from its pull now and lift our eyes outward to the largest things of all. We rise now, far above it, all far enough to see the whole of our home, our galaxy, the Milky Way. It is a vast, slow wheel of stars, turning gently in the dark. From out here, it is breathtaking, a great spiral of light with long curving arms, sweeping around a glowing center. It is almost impossible to picture how large it is from one edge to the other. It stretches 100,000 light years. Light itself, the fastest thing there is, takes 100,000 years to cross it, and it holds more than 100 billion stars. Our sun, that great fire that gives us all our light, and warmth is just one of them, a single star on a quiet arm far from the center. If the galaxy were a city, our sun would be one small light in one small window. On the outskirts, the whole galaxy is turning slowly, our sun carrying the Earth, and all the planets with it, is sweeping around the center at a tremendous speed. And yet, the galaxy is so vast that a single turn takes more than 200 million years. The last time our sun was in this same place, dinosaurs walked the Earth from the Earth. On a dark night, you can see our galaxy from the inside. It crosses the sky as a soft river of pale light, made of more stars than the eye can separate. The old world called it a river of milk, and we have called it the Milky Way ever since. When you look at it, you are looking along the floor of your own home from one small room, deep inside, and every point of light you see is a sun, many of them with worlds of their own, some, perhaps, with oceans, some, perhaps, with skies we do not yet know what waits among all those distant stars. We have only ever known this one small corner of one single galaxy. By the best counting we can do, our galaxy likely holds at least 100 billion worlds, more planets than people who have ever lived, deserts, and ice worlds, and ocean worlds, skies of every color, all turning quietly tonight. Inside this one slow wheel of stars. And here is the most wonderful thing of all, our galaxy. Vast as it is, with all its 100 billion stars, is only one beyond it, scattered through the dark. Are countless others. Our galaxy is not alone in the dark. It drifts among a small gathering of neighbors. And the greatest of them all is a galaxy called Andromeda. Andromeda is a vast spiral, much like our own, but even larger, a great wheel of stars, more than twice as wide as our Milky Way, turning slowly in the dark. It is the most distant thing that can be seen from Earth with the naked eye alone. On a clear, dark night, far from any lights, you can find it a faint, soft smudge of light in the sky. And that faint smudge is an entire galaxy, 1 trillion suns, gathered together. But here is the wonder of it, the light from Andromeda. That faint glow you can just see has been traveling toward us for 2.5 million years. It left that galaxy long before there were people to look up at it. When you see Andromeda, you are seeing it not as it is now, but as it was, in the deep and distant past. And Andromeda is moving, slowly, silently, across the vast gulf between the galaxies. It is drifting toward us, drawn by gravity. Across millions of light years, the two great spirals are falling, ever so gently, toward one another, and one day, far in the future, they will meet. But there is no need to fear that meeting. It is unimaginably far away, billions of years from now, and when galaxies meet, they do not crash and shatter. The stars within them are so far apart that they simply drift past one another. Through the dark for a time, the night skies of both galaxies will blaze with newborn stars, as their great clouds of gas mingle and bloom, and then, slowly, over millions of years, the two great wheels will turn together, mingling and merging until at last they become one, a single, greater galaxy. Turning in the dark, and in all likelihood, our own sun will still be shining when it happens. A quiet, golden witness, watching two rivers of stars slowly becoming one. It is a slow and silent dance, written in gravity, across spans of time. We can barely imagine it is happening now. Far too slowly to see, we drift on and leave the two galaxies to their long and gentle meeting. Drifting here among the countless stars, a gentle question rises, one that people have asked, quietly. For as long as there have been people to look up at the night, in all of this vastness, are we alone? We know now that there are billions of stars in our galaxy, and around them, billions of worlds. And our galaxy is only one among hundreds of billions of others. The number of worlds in the universe is beyond all counting, more than every grain of sand. On every shore, on Earth, and on at least one of those worlds, a small blue one, circling an ordinary star, life arose. We know that, because we are here, we are the proof that it can happen, that from rock and water and starlight, something can stir and grow, and one day look up and wonder. So it is hard not to ask if it happened here. Might it have happened elsewhere somewhere, across that vast ocean of worlds? On some distant shore, beneath some distant sun, is there something else, looking up at its own sky, wondering the very same thing we have begun in our small way. To listen, great radio ears. Turn toward the stars, patiently sifting the silence, year after year. And we have even sent a few greetings of our own brief signals, cast out into the dark, travelling still, outward. Past star after star, perhaps no one will ever hear them, or perhaps someday, someone will we do not know. Not yet, in all our looking. We have found no answer, only silence, and the stars. Perhaps life is common, and the universe quietly teems with it. Or perhaps it is rare, and precious beyond all measure, and we are something wonderfully, achingly unusual. Either answer is a kind of wonder, to be one of many, or to be something almost unimaginably rare. For now, we drift, with the question unanswered, and there is a strange peace in that the not knowing the vast, quiet possibility of it. All we rise, one last time higher than we have ever been high enough, that our entire galaxy, that great wheel of 100 billion stars, becomes just one small point of light among many, for our galaxy is not alone. It never was scattered through the dark, in every direction. Our other galaxies, not dozens, not thousands, but hundreds of billions of them, some say as many as 2 trillion galaxies, fill the universe. We can see, and each one holds its own billions of stars. The numbers grow so large that the mind simply cannot hold them. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on every beach. On all the earth once, we pointed one of our great telescopes at a tiny patch of empty sky, a piece of darkness no larger than a grain of sand, held out at arm's length, and in that one tiny patch, where we expected nothing, we found thousands upon thousands of galaxies, glowing softly. In the dark, behind every grain of empty sky, a sea of worlds. From this great height, the galaxies are not scattered evenly. They gather into vast clusters, and the clusters gather into great chains and walls, stretching across unimaginable distances. Between them lie enormous, empty voids seen all at once. The universe looks almost like a great web. Vast threads of galaxies glowing softly in the endless dark, and the light reaching us from the most distant of these galaxies is impossibly old. It has been traveling for billions of years to arrive here. When we look out into deep space, we are also looking back in time. We see those distant galaxies, not as they are now, but as they were, long before the Earth, or the Sun had even formed. And everywhere we look behind all the stars, behind all the galaxies, there is a faint, gentle warmth filling the whole sky. The afterglow of the very beginning. The first light there ever was, stretched thin and soft, by all the ages, since still falling on us. From every direction, even now, the universe keeps the memory of its own dawn, and we are resting inside it. And here is the humblest truth of all. Almost everything that exists is something we cannot see. The stars, the galaxies, the glowing clouds, all of it together is only a small part of what is truly out there. The rest is dark and quiet and unknown, holding the galaxies gently in place without ever showing itself, even now, even here. The universe keeps most of its secret. Yes. The universe itself is old beyond imagining, almost 14 billion years, and it is still growing, still gently stretching. The galaxies drifting slowly apart, like islands on a widening sea every year. We can see a little further than the year before the universe, quietly opening itself to us. This is the edge of all that we can see, the observable universe, as far as light has had time to travel. Since the very beginning, and beyond it, we do not know. perhaps it goes on forever. Perhaps there is more than we could ever hope to see. We have reached the edge of knowing and gazed out quietly. Into the dark we rest here, a moment at the very edge of everything. And now slowly we begin to drift back from the edge of everything, past the countless galaxies. Glowing in the dark, each one a city of stars, each one impossibly far and impossibly old. Back toward one galaxy, among them, all our own, the Milky Way, that great, slow wheel of light. Turning gently, in the dark, we drift inward, past its glowing arms, past its 100 billion stars, toward one quiet corner. Far from the center, back toward a single, ordinary star. Our sun, warm and steady and golden, and around it a small family of worlds, the giants, with their rings, and storms, the small rocky planets, huddled close to the light, and there, among them, one pale blue world, drifting closer. Now, the blue of its oceans, the white of its clouds, the thin, soft veil of its sky. Home, everything you have ever known, is there, all of it, on that single, quiet world of blue. We sink down softly now, through the clouds, back toward the ground, back toward the room, where you are resting the journey of thousands of light years' end. It's here, in the quiet, in the dark, in the warmth of where you lie somewhere behind you now. Neptune turns in its deep, blue dark Saturn's rings, shine on, thin, and silent. The red deserts of Mars wait under their small pink sky, and the moon patient, as ever, holds the tie. Des in its quiet hands, all of them, still, there, all of them turning, all of them needing nothing from you at all. The universe does not ask anything of you tonight. It has been turning for 14 billion years without your help, and it will keep turning gently. While you rest, the stars do not need watching. The planets know their way. Everything out there is exactly where it should be. And so are you let the journey settle into you now. Not as facts to remember, but as a feeling, the feeling of how vast it all is, and how quiet, and how, in all that endless dark, there is one small room, with one warm bed where you are safe, and still, and home. And tomorrow, when you wake, the sun will be there, as it always is, the same quiet star that lit the dinosaurs' mornings. And the first sailors' crossings will be lighting your ceiling, asking nothing, just shining. But that is tomorrow. For now, there is only the dark and the warmth and the slow tide of your breathing. Your breathing has its own slow tide. Now, like the oceans below the moon, in and out, rising and falling, the same gentle rhythm that has rocked the world to sleep for 4.5 billion years. There is nothing more to do tonight, no further to travel. The journey is over, and you are home. The stars will keep turning above the roof. The moon will keep watch over the tides, and the great wheel of the galaxy will turn on, slow and patient, while you rest. You have drifted to the edge of the universe, and gently back again, and now there is only rest. Let the stars fade softly behind your eyes. Let your breathing slow. Let yourself sink down into the quiet, into sleep. Sleep. Now, the cosmos will be here again, whenever you wish to return. But for now, simply rest and drift gently into the dark good night.